Morning. Barely, anyways, 2 minutes till noon in Central Time Zone here in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I don't remember if I made a vlog entry yesterday. Maybe in the morning, but I don't think I did later today in downtown. I'm bidding this place adieu, and I'm not sure if I will. Not sure if I'll be in a hurry to get back here again. I mean, it's not a bad place. Pretty cool. As far as national parks go, I wouldn't call it exactly spectacular. It's basically a national park, and I guess I understand why, but it's basically a national park because back in the 19th century, it was this hot springs was all the rage as a for medicinal purposes, and they were famous in Europe, and this was globally, at least according to the museum, this Hot Springs, Arkansas was globally famous as America's superior European type spa, because it had this natural hot springs that all the bourgeoisie and aristocracy, I don't think I'm saying that word right, aristocracy would prefer, and it was that was apparent in the museum self-guided tour. I took a few pictures of it, but they showed these rooms, and it was definitely something that not the proletariat were involved with. It was definitely something for the rich. Back when medical science was in its infancy, they sold these hot springs as a cure-all for everything, including tuberculosis and liver problems, and blah blah blah. I'm sure it's not bad for your health, but much more than probably taking a daily vitamin beneficially, if not less. But they had quite an apparatus of means of partaking in the hot springs, and it was a resort destination. The trains were laid and across the U.S., and Hot Springs, Arkansas, that's how it became famous. And I guess in that regard, it is a national landmark. But the national park itself is really the bathhouses that were built prior to the 19th century. There is probably, to make it seem more like national parky, they have a lot of land that was donated by the rich folks. People probably made their fortunes by owning these bathhouses, maybe. So they donated a bunch of land to the national park when they made it a national park in the early 20th century. I think it was 1941, and they basically gave them a couple of mountains. So they put there's hiking trails, and I did climb 2 mountains that was part of the national park, baby mountains, but they were still strenuous for the climb. Made for good climbs, made for some pretty solid views. The town itself sits into a little valley. It was pretty. Not too bad. I saw some giant hawks, and they saw one giant buck. I startled him as I was climbing the second mountain. I think I was utterly by myself on that mountain, which was kind of cool. And this buck came jumping across my path, and it was huge. Biggest one I've seen ever, probably. That was actually a white-tailed deer, and he had a huge bushy white tail. He was at least 10 points. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Got in a hotel room last night, bathed myself as I was desperately needed twice. So I'm nice and fresh homesteading. I assume they have some sort of a memorial to the bombing that happened there in 85 or 96, 95, I believe. People don't talk much about these days since September 11th happened 5 years later, 6 years later. But I remember it, and I've never been there. I'll try to check that out. And I'm actually heading on further into Oklahoma, hopefully, and we'll hit up try to find this RV park in a place called Guymon, out in the middle of nowhere, panhandle of Oklahoma. Hoping for some clear, dark skies. Right now, it's not so clear. I imagine the skies are pretty dark there. Good chance of that, but I don't know about clarity. Right now, it's kind of cloudy, so hopefully things clear up. We shall see. If things are not looking clear, I might not even bother to go out that far. Although I doing some looking last night, and I saw it puts me pretty close to Colorado. I'm not going to go to the Great Sand Dunes Park because it's just way too cold there. It's snowing, and I just absolutely do not want to deal with that nonsense. I mean, I could probably deal with the cold, but I think I'll make a special trip for that Sunday. But I have 2 days until I have to be in, my reservation is in Marathon, Texas, outside of Big Bend, and so I have 2 days to kill. Just trying to figure out what I was wanting to do during that time. Can't go all the way to Arizona. That wouldn't work. I mean, it's not impossible, but I wouldn't want to do that. That's too much driving. I'm not trying to do all that marathon driving. Probably shouldn't have made my reservation in Marathon, Texas for the 18th and 19th, but I did it, and I already made reservations at campgrounds on the 20th and 21st and 23rd in Big Bend, so that is the primary target for this journey. So I figured spending 5 nights in that area would probably be the minimal amount. So I went ahead and did that. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do afterwards, but I think I'm at least going to make it to the New Mexico parks and hit up Carlsbad Caverns, White Sands, and the Guadalupe Mountain Park in Texas. Although I was looking at that some, and it's like that may be something that should be its own trip as well. But I'm at least going to check it out, decide if I want to make a special trip some other time to go to that one. Or maybe I'll spend more time there on the way back instead of going to Arizona, which is looking less and less likely that I'm going to do. But now, that being said, I think I will try to go up into Colorado tomorrow, just to get into the state. If I find a camping spot, I don't want to go into anywhere near a city. I want to stay in the bottom south east corner of Colorado. It's desert, and it's probably a lot like Oklahoma, Panhandle area, but it's Colorado technically, and I'll get into Colorado. If I can find a camping spot somewhere I can camp, I might spend a night there. It shouldn't be as cold as it is at Great Sand Dunes, where your higher elevations. And I did find a canyon hiking trail. At the very least, I might try to make it to that. It seems like that's in the middle of nowhere, and I might be able to just park there. Who knows? I don't think it's public land. I didn't see any RV parks or official campgrounds. But maybe I'll get there and I'll find something. But at the very least, I might, since I'm going to be so close to it, I might just drive up there and do the hike there, and then I might just drive south, not even spend a night in Colorado, maybe start heading down towards Texas and stop somewhere along the way on my way to Texas, in Texas, North Texas, Northwest Texas. So that's the loose game plan for now, and spend a couple nights in Arkansas. First time I've ever done that. Hot Springs, pretty cool. Stayed at the La Quinta Inn. Give that about 2 stars. There were no bugs or anything. The campground there was actually really nice. The Gulf Gorge They didn't have any showers. I would have stayed there again if they had a shower, but I needed a shower. They didn't have any showers. So it's right by a river. Really cool. The first mountain I hiked was right there in that campground. Right from that campground, you had to walk across the river. That river, they had built-in steps in to go across the river. That was pretty cool. Part of the trail. Good thing I had my waterproof